Up, everyone? This is kind of like a new style live. Thanks for being here. If you're watching in post, so glad to have you. We're gonna kind of talk about everything that Theme Park Groupie has done this year, things that the parks have announced, kind of 2023 all together in sorry, my audio is yeah. So this is all I'm all brand new at this stuff, so we're gonna make it work. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out. I really also just want to thank you for an incredible 2023. Literally one of the best years of my life. I had a ton of stuff on the channel. I got a newborn, which completely changed my life in all great positive ways. I'm just so incredibly thankful for everything this channel has done for me and my family, and what you guys have done for the channel. I really do appreciate all of you. So, just gonna kind of go over a few things that kind of were momentous um, opportunities for the channel and everything. So um, just, you're gonna have to deal with the jankiness of using this because uh, just the way the live set up for YouTube. So here it is. Green Gots. This Escape from Green Gots. This POV was the first video uploaded in 2023. So if you guys haven't watched that yet, you can go check it out. If not, still is the first video of 2023. The first video of 2024 has kind of yet to be seen. But yeah, so this is the very first video I posted. So that's pretty cool. Let me fast forward a little bit to the actual POV. So this is like the full experience of the ride. So if you want to watch that, you can. Let me fast forward a little bit. Make sure I can see everything everyone's saying. All right, I'm all set up. Awesome ride. Love this ride. It's a classic. Not my favorite Harry Potter ride, but it's probably my least favorite, but that doesn't mean it's not great and I don't like it. But it's a great ride. Very first video of 2023 that I posted. All right, now for some news that happened this year. Boom. Universal announced that HHN is coming to Vegas. Vegas is getting its own year-round Halloween Horror Nights, which is super cool. And they also announced that Frisco, Texas is getting its own theme park. So they announced that this year. It's a whole kids only theme park. So that's pretty cool. I live in Florida, so I'll probably visit it when it opens, and that might be it. But who knows? That's cool that they're expanding, and they're just recently, like within the last couple weeks, the UK is getting land. They're getting land for the UK to build a park in across the pond. It's pretty cool. They're expanding and everything. So another thing that happened this year was Splash Mountain closed. Splash Mountain closed forever to make room for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I believe it's called. So so that's kind of a bummer, but also I don't mind change. Change isn't that it doesn't matter to me. It's great, I guess. I'm looking forward to having a new experience at Disney, so that's pretty cool. But this was the last time I ever rode the ride, which is pretty sad. Oh, whoops, I'm messing this up already. Let's get to the POV. So if you guys haven't watched this, this is my very last ride, very last POV of Splash Mountain before it closed. That happened in January 22nd. It closed in Florida. So it closed with different dates throughout all the Splash Mountains. But yeah, that happened this year in 2023, which was a bummer for a lot of people, but it's also exciting that new things are coming. So it is what it is. Another cool thing that happened for the channel is the Serengeti Flyer. That was cool just to experience it. And here was really cool because of you guys, what you do for the channel, watching my videos, all that stuff. Got us the recognition that Busch Gardens had us come out for Media Day, which was super cool. So I was able to check out this brand new ride at Busch Gardens, Tampa. This is like a swing ride, and just watching the videos and even me going into it, I'm kind of like, oh, cool. It's like a big swing. I hadn't ridden a ride like this before. It was pretty intense. The G force of you flying forward and backward, it is really cool. And if you haven't experienced this, next time you go, you need to jump on it. There's also one in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg called Finnegan Flyer, I believe. It's basically the same ride. So it's on all of that. Thanks, Theme Parks and Me. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a complete honor, and I'm going when I go to these media events. It's just wild because it's like who am I? What is my channel? And I'm seeing all these huge YouTubers and people. It's just wild. I'm just so grateful to be able to do all this kind of stuff. Hey, how are you, Myra? I think I can't. My text is really small. Hola, how are you? Just going over the year for my channel and also just for general theme park news and different stuff like that. So I appreciate you joining. Next, okay, so that was the media day was on February 23rd, but the ride opened officially February 27th. So that was back then. Hey, what's going on? Good to have you here. Uh, I did a live with Theme Park Vlogs and Fun. It's a little over a month ago now, I believe. Como estas? I don't know any Spanish. I started learning with Duolingo a while back, and I got off of it, and then now I forgot everything I learned. But hello, thanks for being here. So that was February 27th, and on March 9th, I rode Tron for the very first time. This was my first time ever because they have the Tron in Shanghai, and obviously I have not been there. But I'm so stoked that they have it here in Florida now because it is a really fun ride. For whatever reason, it was kind of getting a lot of heat when people finally rode it, and they're like, "Oh, it's so lame. It's short." It's like I get I get that it's short. It could have been more, whatever, but it really is a super fun ride. And I love launch coasters. I love the motorcycle feel like Hagrid. It checks all the boxes for me. I really, really did enjoy that. That was March 9th when I did this was the pass holder preview when I did this POV. All right, so that's cool. Yeah, let me know when you have another one planned, another live planned, and I'll try to check it out. Yes, I totally agree. Night rides on Tron is the way to go. That you could only for this ride you can only have a GoPro on your chest, and so unfortunately, like in these dark spots, it's hard to really appreciate how cool it looks being on the ride itself, because it kind of gets dark, and but it's no big deal. Like when you're out there, like right here, so it's kind of hard to see exactly what's happening and to really appreciate what it looks like in there. But yeah, it's such a fun ride, especially for me. I think more people would be fine with it being short if it didn't take 7 years to open. Yes, that was a big part of it. It took so long for Tron to show up. Like I just felt like, I mean, I don't know what it is with Disney. They can't figure it out. I mean, Journey of Water isn't even anything, and it took years and years for it to open. It's crazy. I don't know. They're just prioritizing differently, and it's kind of mind-boggling to me. Uh, yes, I rode Tron like 3 times this year. That's awesome. I only have ridden it twice so far. This POV was one of the 2 times, and I rode it. I can't remember, a couple months later. Anyway, so that was March 9th. And so the next one, I don't have a pass for this one, but Wild Adventures had me come out for their opening of this entire area called Oasis Outpost. And this is a really cool, it's not like anything crazy or extravagant, but again, it's always a huge honor when a theme park has my channel come out and I get to ride these cool rides and all that stuff. I got to see their opening ceremonies. I got to eat some of the food. I had a boba drink for the very first time. I've never had a boba drink before that day. So that was really cool. I got to experience a lot of stuff all in one shot, seeing some new animals that they have at the theme park and all that stuff. So that was that was a fun time. So thank you, Wild Adventures, for having me come out for that opening ceremony. And again, these are all videos that have already been posted, so you can go through if you want to watch and check out these videos that have happened. So that was March 14th when Oasis Outpost opened up, and next up is April 8th. Aeronautica Landing opened up at Carowinds. So this is Carowinds theme park that borders North Carolina and South Carolina. So half of the park is in one state, half of the park is in another state. So that's really cool. So this whole area opened up on April 8th for Carowinds. So that's really cool. It's all the whole theme basically of the park is Carolina winds. So like flight, first in flight. They really harp on the first in flight thing. So it's all plane themed and all that stuff. So this whole area for the kids opened up on April 8th. So that's a pretty cool area of the park. And on April 11th, Universal announced the closure of Poseidon's Fury. So they announced April 11th that it was closing, and on May 9th, it closed officially forever, which is a bummer. I mean, it wasn't my favorite thing to do, the Poseidon's Fury, but it was still something I enjoyed doing from time to time. So it's a bummer that it closed. But again, I like when things close, typically that means something new is coming. Um, but we've heard nothing. So I don't know. Hopefully something new comes along. Yeah, it was very unique. The live shows nowadays kind of seem like I mean, they're entertaining, but they're definitely not as big and epic like this one or like Indiana Jones at Hollywood Studios. I like the big epic shows and stuff like that. So who knows? Hopefully, we'll get something comparable in the future. In years past, that land was rumored to have a Zelda castle. So who knows? Who knows? So that was April 11th they announced, and May 9th it closed. So also for the thing the channel Theme Park Groupie was invited to check out a haunted house at UF. So this is a student-led haunted house in Gainesville. So this is one of their practice fields right behind this scare actor. So that was a pretty cool thing to check out. It wasn't it wasn't super long or anything. It was kind of a real small house, but it was cool because that was April 15th. So it's cool to have like a scare. Marcel, good to have you. Thank you for joining. Thanks for joining. The so yeah, the UF contacted the channel and wanted us to come check out the haunted house because they know we have a history with looking at haunted houses at HHN's, Hollow Scream, all that stuff. So that was cool. I really do appreciate that invite. That was April 15th. Next up on May 11th was Pipeline Media Day. So I got this little button that says first to ride Pipeline, the surf coaster. This is at SeaWorld Orlando. I thoroughly enjoy this ride. This is, I love the weightlessness of this ride. I love the aspect of being able to stand up. It's the only stand coaster I've ever ridden. So it's really cool to experience that. You feel super weightless on this ride. Again, thank you, SeaWorld, for having the channel out. Yes, Marcel, this is the one that you stand up on. But the whole structure of the seating is crazy. It's you're standing up, but when you're going on these airlifts, like when you're going down the drop, your body kind of lifts up, and there's like a 3 inch wavy. It's kind of hard to explain. Your whole body kind of like your whole seat comes up and down like 3 inches as you're gliding up and down these loops and stuff. So it's crazy unique. It's a super fun coaster. So yeah, you can see this is a POV of me riding it, and maybe I'll fast forward a little bit. Maybe you can kind of see a little bit how my body's kind of going up and down right there. So like my feet will be on the ground, and I'll come up. My feet will come off the ground, and I'll be standing back again. It's so cool. Such an awesome, very unique coaster for SeaWorld. Yeah, I know that's a bummer that you weren't able to ride it before the year ended, but hey, it's open forever until who knows, years down the road. So you have plenty of time to ride it. Vlogs. All right, so that was Pipeline. That was on May 11th. So on June 10th, Busch Gardens invited my channel out for Summer Nights, their Summer Nights event. I love their Summer Nights event. It's super fun and energetic, and the lights, neon lights, all that kind of stuff is super cool. So, huge fist bump to Busch Gardens for having the channel out. I always love checking the theme parks out with the child coming this year. I wasn't able to go to as many events as in years past, it toward the latter end. So I'm not 100% sure. I think this was the last time I've been to Busch Gardens was for this. That was on June 10th. I didn't get to check out their Halloween event or their Christmas event this year. Things have just been crazy, and I doing what I can to visit everything, but I'm one person, so it is what it is. Maybe in 2024 things will dust will settle a little bit here and there. But yeah, so that was on June 10th. Then on June 19th, Minion Land technical rehearsals opened up to the public. So I was able to check out their food, their stores, the little shops, the exit queue for Villain Con opened up. Then they had that. They had the scene character meet and greet, and so it's a cool part of the park that was kind of underutilized. I do miss Monsters Cafe that got shut down to make room for Minion Land. So that's a bit of a bummer, but this is a super fun part of the park, and I'm a grown adult, but this was a worthy adjustment. But Monsters Cafe is at least something similar is planned to go into Epic Universe for their classic monsters area of the park. I am crazy looking forward to Epic Universe. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am. So many things keep happening that I can't go see Super Nintendo World. So it's probably at this point I'm not going to see it until it comes here. Then I can try Donkey Kong. Oh, I'm so excited for Epic Universe. All right, Marcel says, my favorite food from the cafe is the pizza. I totally agree. Used to go get pizza every Halloween Horror Nights. It was a tradition for me and my friends group. We'd go to Halloween Horror Nights, and at some point of the night, we'd stop at Monsters Cafe and get a pizza. Not gonna happen anymore, unfortunately. Theme Park Vlog says I saw Minion Land on Halloween Horror Nights. That's basically the only time I went to Universal Studios. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy vibe for Minion Land to be right at the entrance for Halloween Horror Nights. It's just kind of funny. Before it totally fit because of Monsters Cafe and all that stuff, but now it's Minions. It's like it's supposed to be scary. Just don't look and keep walking. But they could only do so much because Minion Mayhem ride had already been right there at the entrance, so they kind of made it work, and I think it's the way they could do it. All right, so this year also June 20th, Transformers 10th year anniversary happened. 10 years. It is wild that this ride has been open for 10 years. I still remember it coming and riding it for the first time, and I'm like, because I didn't really follow much back then. I just whatever. I went and wrote it, and I'm like, this is Spider Man. This is literally Spider Man. So it was kind of a hard pill to swallow at the beginning because it was like, oh, this brand new ride, and I go to ride it, and it was basically Spider Man. But I have definitely grown to love it. I My favorite between Spider-Man and Transformers keeps swapping. So I like Spider-Man more. I like Transformers more. It kind of depends on my mood. I really love them both. You were 6 when that came out. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, 10 years. June 20th, it came out 10 years ago. Also, a huge part of my year this year was checking out Busch Gardens. Was it? Yeah, yeah. Busch Gardens Williamsburg for the first time. So this was my primary reason I wanted to go was to check out Dark Coaster. Dark Coaster opened on May 19th, but I didn't get to go until July 1st. So this wasn't like anything. I didn't get like a media pass or anything. They just gave me a free ticket to come check out the park and everything. So that was cool. Then this is just a memento I have for it. Just says hands-free camera device card, meaning it gave me permission to put a GoPro on while I was at the parks. So just something I like to keep with all. I have this. You're just seeing the 2023 stuff. I have a ton of mementos from throughout the years for the channel of media invites and all that stuff. So all this stuff means so much to me. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what other people do. All this stuff is just so mind-boggling that people watch my stuff and they continue to support the channel and stuff. So it's a huge honor for media to come out. Williamsburg is, let's see, I think it's like right under 11 hours, right under an 11-hour drive to go to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for me. But so yeah, I can't really do it super often. It's a drive, and I took my electric vehicle, so it was an extra like hour and a half of charging, and I think that included the drive. So uh, if you took a gas car, it'd be like 9.5 hours, I think, to get there. But yeah, it was a crazy fun experience. Especially, I mean, I've gone to all the Florida parks so many times, and I know where everything is. If I go with people and people come with me, they're like, "Ben, where's the bathroom?" I'm like, "All right, we're gonna turn the corner, blah blah blah. It's gonna be here, here, here." Yeah. So I know all the parks so much. I have them all mapped out. I just go all the time. So going to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for my first time was such a fun experience because I'm coming in blind. I it's like a pro and con. I love going to a brand new theme park. I love going in blind and not knowing what to expect, but also I'm used to knowing where everything is at. So that was definitely a new experience to go to a brand new theme park. It's not often that I go to a brand new theme park I've never been to because I've gone to them so many times. By the way, I've had this freestyle cut from Universal for years and years and years and years. I've had it for so long. So yeah, Dark Coaster opened May 19th. I went and visited on July 1st. So I stayed over. I went on a Monday, stayed overnight, went all day Tuesday, drove about halfway home Tuesday evening, stayed overnight, and drove the rest of the way Wednesday morning. So it's a little bit of a trek for me to do it because I'm used to just going to a theme park in the morning, coming home at night, because I live in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I am right now. So I'm used to being able to do everything I want in a single day. So a 2 night trip isn't something that's super feasible for me to do very often. But it was so much fun to be able to do it, and it makes me want to do it more, doing more theme park trips out of the state and everything. Because I'm just so strapped to Florida because so many things are here. Is it completely different from Tampa? Yes, 100% yes. There's a few rides that have similarities. So like Alpengeist and Montu are very similar. It's actually one of the things I discuss in this video. There's like a side by side how Montu and Alpengeist are pretty much the opposite ends. They have a couple different inversions and stuff. Um, they have Shikra and Griffin are very similar. I didn't get to ride Griffin. They closed it before I got to it, which was a huge bummer. Is there animals there? Yeah, there's a few animals. It's not like Tampa where it's like a zoo basically, but they do have a few animals. I did see a few things there. Do they have some sort of the same rides just like here at Tampa? Yeah, so there's 3 rides um, that are pretty much the same. Serengeti Flyer here in Tampa, Finnegan's Flyer there, same exact ride. Montu and Alpengeist are mirrored of each other, so the Montu goes to the left when you're riding, Alpengeist goes to the right, I think. But yeah, they're pretty much the same, and Griffin and Shikra are the same. Everything else is completely different. I love Dark Coaster. I It's kind of crazy to say. If it wasn't for Iron Gwazi, I would prefer Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Iron Gwazi though is just so incredible. I love Iron Gwazi. Having indoor coaster is really cool. I wish Tampa would get just one indoor coaster. Dark coaster was really fun. It's not the craziest, scariest ride in the world, but it's really fun being indoors on a coaster. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's so cool. But yeah, so I definitely 100% plan on taking more trips to Williamsburg in the future. All right, that was July 1st. July 15th, I tried VillainCon for the first time. And there was this crazy controversy about recording on the ride. Even people were freaking out about me recording the queue, even though I got permission to record the queue. I just stayed far away from the POV. I got one guy gave me permission to record the POV, but I was like, I just want to make sure. So I messaged Universal on X, and I was like, hey, I got permission to record from someone from uh, a team member, and I just want to make sure it is okay that I post this video. And they said, yeah, you're not supposed to record in the ride. So I just deleted the footage, and I'm like, my hands are clean because there's so much controversy everywhere about this. I mean, people were trashing me for this, and then later on, Universal's like, guys, the queue is fine to record. It's fine. Like what? Oh my goodness, what was his name? Uh, uh, WDW, but or WDW News. I can't remember his name. He messaged or he commented on TikTok just trashing me, and I was like, dude, I got permission for this. Universal says it's fine. And anyway, so I stayed far away from the POV. It's the rides not that great. I remember going to Busch Gardens with my friends for a good conduct. We went to Iron Gwazi for the first time. Memories, yeah. I yeah. So still no. Universal is still making a big deal about recording. It's Universal is the only one that's strict like this with the POVs. It's crazy how strict they are with POV. I mean, I understand like with the coasters. So there was, if you guys don't know, back on Dueling Dragons, someone had like a handful of change or something like that. And as they were dueling, he throws the change to the other side. And another guy, anyway, it was a bad injury. And sued Universal, all this stuff. So that's why we have metal detectors before we go on the coasters. So I totally understand the bringing metal and stuff on coasters, but like on this ride, you're just standing there and I can't record. Yeah, it's just kind of a bummer. Yeah, Universal is way more strict than Disney, 100%. Yeah, Marcel, Universal is getting more and more strict on basically anything. You can't record on anything at Universal anymore. They just like tighten the rope and tighten it and tighten it and tighten it. It's a huge bummer, especially for my channel because I like showing you guys these POVs and stuff like that. So it's a bummer. Yeah. So as far as you said, Universal is more strict than Disney. Disney is like the opposite. They're like, please record our rides and post them. It's free publicity for them. It's really. I remember one time. Oh my word! I don't know if I've ever said this on the channel. It's just kind of funny. So I was riding Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror. I'm about to get on. Like we're in our little spots, ready to get on the ride. Yes, metal detectors for coasters. You can't bring anything like that on a coaster because of the lawsuit and everything that happened. They want to stay safe. I totally get that. Makes sense. I wish I could get like approval to like get a GoPro from their safety team. Like, look, it's safe. Nothing's gonna happen. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But okay, so I was on Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios. This is at Disney. I'm recording. I have my nice DSLR camera, and I'm recording. I'm like, oh, here's the cue, whatever. And this big dude looks at me. He's like, "Shut the camera off." I'm like, do you want to ask nicely? He's like, no, I don't want to be recorded. Shut the camera off. And he's just getting louder and louder and louder. And I'm like, all right, dude, I'll shut the camera off. No big deal. I don't want a whole thing. If I knew you're uncomfortable, I would have not started to begin with. So the team or the cast member saw this whole thing happening. And so once we got on the ride, I was just didn't record anything on the ride. I was like, I rode this, I got on this ride, waited in a 90-minute line to get a POV of Twilight Zone. Now I didn't get it because this guy was just fuming about it. So I got off and this cast member lady just runs up to me. She's like, I am so sorry that whole thing happened. That was completely inappropriate. I'll get you front row or whatever seat you want on this next one. Just come with me. So I went with her. I went through these back ways all the way back up to the front, and she let me get whatever seat I wanted for the next thing. And she's like, record it all. I'm like, yes, Disney is so much better in that regard of letting people record on the rides. Universal is just like, I mean, they're going to get to the point where they're not even going to let you record anything in the parks. Don't even bring a camera into the parks because it's not allowed. I don't know why they're so strict. Marcel says, I understand the coaster, but rides like Spider-Man Hogwarts Express doesn't make sense. I totally get. I totally agree that it doesn't make any sense. Have you ever gotten on to at theme parks? Yes, one time a while back, I was trying to get a POV of Dudley Do Right, and I had my GoPro on. This lady's like, no, no, no. She says, she's like, take it off, take it off. There's no recording. I'm like, are you serious on this ride too? This is a while back. So yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. They think it's gonna spoil it for people, maybe. I don't. I mean, these old rides. Who Dudley Do Right has been open for 20 years. Who am I spoiling this ride for? I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, Marcel, I really don't understand. He was just really upset, and it's like, dude, you're at Disney. You realize there's a camera in everybody's pocket. There's cameras all over. You're being recorded, whether I'm holding a camera or not. I don't. He was really upset. It was a guest. Like a old like I don't know. Old. He wasn't that old. He was maybe in his like late 40s. He had like two teenage girls with him, and I wasn't. I mean, he is probably 8 feet to my left. I'm facing forward. He's like 8 feet this way. And I'm like, boop, 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 boop. He's like, turn the camera off. I'm like, dude, I wasn't even looking at you. I looked at my footage. I couldn't even look at his face from my footage. I wasn't anywhere near them with my shot. He just had it with vloggers for the day or something. I don't know. I basically sneak my camera, and when the ride starts, I pull it out. Yeah, it's tempting to do that too, but what's his name? I can't remember. It's another Adam the Who. He got banned from Universal from trying to record on stuff. At least that's my perspective. That's just what I've seen in comments. It's not 100% confirmed, so don't take that as Bible or anything. But that's what I've heard is that he can no longer go to Universal Studios Florida because of the recording, and he got kicked out. So not worth it. Even if I didn't have my channel at all, I would still want to go to these theme parks, and I definitely am not getting a lifetime ban. Not worth it. I love Universal too much. It's a bummer as a creator to be able to bring this stuff to you guys. It's no big deal. It's whatever. Anyway, that's my rant. So I tried VillainCon technical rehearsals on July 15th. Okay, so next on July 20th, Universal announced DreamWorks is coming to Kid Zone July 20th. They announced it. Like the work walls are up, and it's looking so good. A huge part of it is going to be Shrek. Has his Shrek's little swamp tree thing. I don't know what it's called, but everything's looking so good. It's so tall. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just getting more. I do feel for ET because it's getting more and more out of place where it's at, but they can't touch it because Steven Spielberg would be very upset if they touched his ET. So it's just getting more and more out of place. But that whole area is going to be really cool. It was rumored, heavily rumored, to be Pokemon way several years ago. That whole land was supposed to be Pokemon when they got the whole Nintendo contract, but that kind of got fell through when it's like all these rumors for Nintendo stuff that was going to happen all fell through the minute they're like, you know what, let's not do any of that. We're going to do Epic Universe, and we're going to put everything there. We're going to put all Nintendo stuff there. And so all these rumors like completely diminished, and now they're kind of like going with completely different plans. On January 31st, I'm making a stream of Busch Gardens Mardi Gras versus Universal Mardi Gras. Yeah, that's a good idea. I do like their Mardi Gras. Yeah, they've already painted the old Woody Woodpecker coaster. Yep, I did see that. If you're not like right up on the work walls, if you're like right where the walkway, like right when you stand back there, you can kind of see the elevation of everything. Everything is looking really good. I'm really looking forward to it. I love DreamWorks. I love Shrek. I love Kung Fu Panda. How to Train Your Dragon is going to be a huge part of Epic Universe. So that's really exciting. And it's cool too because the cutest little nephew, he is super into How to Train Your Dragon. So he is just going to flip. So I'm super excited to see what all is going to be at this DreamWorks part of the park. All right, so on July 18th, oops, the full Halloween Horror Nights uh, list came out. So they had the full lineup of the houses, scare zones, shows. This wasn't my favorite year, but it did have some awesome houses. I never played Last of Us, but that house was pretty cool. I already there's candle sit of the ETQ, but I think they also have a room spray now. Yeah, they did. They completely. That's my brother, Aaron Meehan. That's my older brother, and it's his son that's obsessed with How to Train Your Dragon. So that's awesome, and he's gonna be so stoked for that. But yeah, so for ET, they definitely fixed the smell, and now they're trying to replicate it, and it's not the same. It smells similar, but it's just not the same. It's like a scent. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Marcel. It's like a scent, and now they can sell it and everything because it's a completely different thing. But it's just not the same smell. I watched the TV show Last of Us and played half the game. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so when Halloween Horror Nights announced Last of Us, on YouTube they have like just the video portions of the game, and so I watched a little bit of that just to familiarize myself with the characters and the scare actors and stuff like that, just so I could kind of be, I don't know, in the loop, I guess. I did love Stranger Things house. That was probably like the craziest house aesthetically that I've ever been in. It just like felt so big and like you're in the upside down. And they definitely did the movie justice. That was by far my favorite house, but I'm super into Stranger Things. If you're not, it was probably a good house if you don't know anything about Stranger Things, but I'm very into the show. So that was cool. Dueling Dragons. They had the Dueling Dragons house. That was pretty cool. I wasn't really sure what my expectations was going to be for that, but it was really cool. They did they brought in like the Dueling Dragons, the red dragon and the blue dragon from Islands of Adventure. So that was really cool to kind of pay homage to that. I was supposed to go this year with my friends, but I couldn't because my parents said it would be packed. Your parents are correct. It was absolutely swamped every night. I mean, this was the year I went the least because my child was born at the end of September. So I went twice, and that was it this year. I went on opening night, which was 9/1. So here's my ticket. It's a little beat up because it was raining, but that's my Halloween Horror Nights ticket for this year. For opening night, it's still a bummer that the channel hasn't been invited for Halloween Horror Nights, in the sake that unless you're invited for Halloween Horror Nights, you can't record in the houses. Universal, a whole other thing. They're only contracted to legally be able to record in the houses the first night, and then after that, nobody can, not media, not anybody, legally. But it's like, why can't I just record in the houses the first night? So it's a bummer that I've never gotten a video because I love my camera can capture such great low light, and haunted houses would be just so cool to be able to record inside of. So maybe next year. I keep saying that every year. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. It's just not happening. Let's see what side you chose in Dueling Dragons. The first time I went through, I chose ice. I went ice on the first night, and then the next, I think it was the next week, the next weekend, I went with my brother-in-law, and we chose fire just so I could do both sides. Um, what are some other significant things? Dr. Oddfellow was a pretty cool icon. I was kind of reading a little bit into what him and Jack's history was, so it's pretty cool to kind of like see their history. And I was reading a little bit about it. I don't know what all I was reading, if it was official or fan made or what, but it was pretty cool to kind of see that. So Dr. Oddfiddle was he was like integrated in all the scare zones and all that stuff. So Halloween Horror Nights was pretty fun. Again, not my favorite year. My favorite year will always be 2019. I don't know if 2019 can be beat. That was just my favorite year. You and your mom went separate. Oh, you went both different directions. That's cool. So you can kind of talk about what happened. That's a cool idea. Um, yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, 2019 Halloween Horror Nights was amazing. It was like I'm so into the 80s. I was born in the early 90s, and I never saw the 80s, but I'm so into it. In 2019 had the In Arcade Scare Zone. Stranger Things had I can't even remember. Oh, Vikings Undead. That Scare Zone was one of the coolest. They had so many good things that year. It was Ghostbusters. Was that year? Yeah, yeah. And they had the I can't remember the name of the show, but the show on the lake. They had that, and that was the first year they did that, and I was just like, "This is awesome!" Such a good year. It won't be beat. I don't think it. I'm pretty sure it was 2019 because it was the year. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. No, no, no. Yeah, it was definitely 2019 because 2020 they didn't have anything, so I re-edited my 2019 vlog for 2020 because there was no Halloween Horror Nights that year. All right, so let's move on. Minion Land officially opened on August 11th. I had already done everything. I eaten. I was eating the food and the drinks and the rides and all that stuff beforehand during the technical rehearsal. So the opening day didn't really mean a whole lot, but it's cool that it was officially open. So that's pretty cool. I don't mind Minions. I know people have a big gripe against them. Minions has done my channel great. If I out of all the IPs, out of Disney, Universal, all of them, Minions has done the most for my channel. So I bring all the Minions. One of my Minions videos has just under 18 million views, which is crazy. A YouTube short with the Minions on the Superstar Parade. That video got almost 18 million. And another one that's similar, is like a different angle. That one got like 4 or 5 million views on shorts. Wild stuff. Couldn't even dream of that happening. So bring on the Minions. Bring them, bring them, bring them. I don't mind at all. All right. So Royal Caribbean Cruise. I posted this video on August 12th, but we went on the cruise back in May. There was no timetable on it, so I kind of edited it. I wanted to make the video really good. It was a really in-depth review. So if you guys plan on taking a Royal Caribbean cruise, whatever, go check the video out. It was so much fun. What a great vacation. My wife had just, I think she was about 3 months pregnant when we took this trip. So she was still able to get around and move around and stuff like that. But man, it was so relaxing. The food was so good. It was an 8-day cruise, which is the longest cruise I've ever been on. Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to go on it again when my little girl is a little bit older and she can appreciate it. I would love to take her on a Disney cruise. Cruises are like peak vacation for me because so many people come to Orlando to go to theme parks and stuff like that to vacation here. I can go whenever I want, which I'm very, very grateful for. So vacations, I love to go on cruises to just chill, and they have so many things going on. So if you're just like, I want to do something, they got shows, they got games, they got slides, water slides, all that. That was cool. From the ship, I could see Iron Gwazi and Shikra and stuff like that. So that was really cool from the dock at Tampa. So yeah, cruises are awesome. If you ever been in cruise, let me know what your cruise line was and what your experience was, because I could talk about cruises all day long because it's so great. And it doesn't. You can bring people. You can just go by yourself with your family, whatever. It's always a good time. So I posted that on August 12th, and then on August 16th, Flight School at Legoland officially closed. This is the last operating day, which is National Roller Coaster Day. So you got to ride this roller coaster for the last time ever. I don't know what they plan on doing with this space. Maybe the ride was just getting old and they didn't want to do all the upkeep or something, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. So that's a bummer for some people. I only rode it. This POV was the only time I've ever ridden that ride. I've only ever been to Legoland one time, and that was for the opening of Lego Movie World. So I have a whole video tour and review and stuff like that. So that was cool to check it out. Uh, but as an adult, there's not a ton to do. Now that I have a little one, I'll probably be going to Legoland, especially like they have the Peppa Pig part of the park now. That's like near the park. It's separate, but it's still a part of Legoland. So I'll probably be going to that more frequently in the future. So yeah, and then September 1st was Halloween Horror Nights. I know we already talked about it um, when they announced the full lineup, but then September 1st was the full event, being able to experience it. I always love Halloween Horror Nights. It's my favorite event. Christmas is my favorite season to check out everything, but as far as a single event, Halloween Horror Nights is my favorite because it's different every single year. It's not feasible for people, for most parks, to do that, to have a completely totally new event every single year, but Universal pulls it off and they just kill it. Every year. It's just awesome, no matter what it is, whether it's a good year, a bad year. Halloween Horror Nights is still amazing, and I'll still go, honestly. All right, then. So that was September 1st. Then the next week was media night and opening night for Hallow Scream at SeaWorld. So again, a huge fist bump to SeaWorld for inviting the channel out and giving us a media pass. I was able to record the haunted houses here, which was so much fun. I love being able to do that and being able to experience this new house, the Delirium. Again, not everybody can do brand new stuff every single year, but Hallow Scream has been doing it. I think this was their third year. I went the first year and the third. I didn't go last year. Um, but it was cool to check out kind of the differences between the first year ever into this, having Delirium, which is a new house, and they kind of revamped a couple of the other houses. So it's cool that they kind of make do with what they can as far as revamping old houses and stuff like that. So that's a lot of fun. So again, thank you, SeaWorld. Love y'all. Invite me back for whatever you want me to cover, because it's a huge honor to be a part of their events and stuff and be a part of the media crew. Again, during this, like, all around me, I'm not totally showcasing them because I don't want to fangirl, but like all around me was like Rick's Flicks, Tim Tracker, Orlando Informer, all these crazy great people and awesome YouTubers. And it was just like, what am I doing here? I don't deserve to be here. Like all these people over here. These are all media people, YouTubers, local news stations, all this stuff. And it's like, it's just a huge honor. I really do appreciate it. And it makes, again, made for it an awesome year to be able to be a part of these events. So thank you so much. And next, Wild Adventures Great Pumpkin Luminites food tour for media night. Thank you, Wild Adventures, for having the channel out. I always love checking out this park. It's just a small little park in Georgia. It's not the craziest, wildest park in the world, but it is so much fun, and you get so much bang for your buck at this park. Especially if you've never been, you ride all the rides and stuff for the first time. It really is a super fun park, and the food is absolutely incredible. I love getting these passports because in the back you can try all these foods. So like you have like one purple slot, green, two orange, one yellow, and a soda. So you can choose what you want. You can get one of these, two of those, one of these, and a soda. So with this little passport thing, you can really try out so many different things that they have and they offer at the park. Especially if you go with someone else and you guys get one each and you can like split it. You guys can have so many things. So again, thank you so much, Wild Adventures, for an awesome invite to your Great Pumpkin Luminites for their Halloween event. Super grateful for that. Now, that was September 22nd. 3 days later, I became a parent to this adorable little girl. Her name is Ireland. She's my sweet, sweet, sweet baby girl. I love her so much. This is the day we brought her home for the first time. She's the most adorable thing in the world, and I think about her all day, every day. She's not here right now. She's with the grandparents, and I'm thinking about her. She's just my sweet little girl. Can't believe I get to be her dad. It's a wild adventure, and I love it. So that's a big part of my year. 2023 was having a little girl. She's so sweet, and that's my wife. If you guys didn't know, she's been in a couple Wild Adventures videos in the past. Um, yeah. So, oh yeah, okay. So September 28th. What do you do? Who knew this was coming? Galactic Star Cruiser had its last voyage. September 28th. They gutted it. This is terrible idea from the start. Having it Star Wars specific hotel is an awesome idea. The experience was not a good idea. Just overall not good. I saw videos of like the media when they got invited, and I was like, dude, this is I'd pay like $150 to experience this whole thing. It was like thousands of dollars for like one room. It was like $5,000 for 2 nights. It is the craziest thing. I I just I don't understand who would do that. If you did it and you enjoyed it, good on you. I would never spend that much money to do this. For 5 grand, I could like travel the country and go to all the different Disney parks for the same price of a 2. Yeah, that was the craziest thing. So, yeah, who knew that was gonna close? People can't afford a 4, 5, 6, 7 grand 2-night vacation. Whatever. That was September 28th. October 2nd was announced that Phoenix Rising new coaster is coming to Busch Gardens, Tampa. There's no exact date just yet, but I'm excited for this. I love that even when they're coming out with new kids coasters, is that it's still going to be super fun. It's going to have like launches and stuff like that. It's going to be crazy smooth. So yeah, bring it on. Bring all the coasters, even the kid coasters. I'll enjoy it. My little girl, when she grows up, she gonna be riding all the roller coasters with me. I know that for sure. Then on October 2nd, again, I went to Busch Gardens Williamsburg and tried this for the first time. Loch Ness Monster. This roller coaster hit 45 years. It's a 45-year-old coaster, and it announced on October 2nd that it's closing for a complete revamp. I don't know what all that means. If it's a retrack, I probably should look more into it. But yeah, it's going to be completely revamped. So that's pretty cool. I know it's kind of probably a bummer for some people that wrote it when they're in their 50s and 60s. They wrote it when they were a kid to see it go, but it's not going. It's getting a revamp. So who knows what all that is going to entail. Then I don't have a physical memory for it, but I got to check out the media. Yeah, they had the media invite coming from Adventure Landing, which is here in Jacksonville. It's like a super small park. It's like a water park, golfing, go-karts, arcade, all this stuff. It's a pretty big facility, and they have every year they do these haunted houses. So there's 2 haunted houses, and they invited me out to come check it out, and that was fun because with these smaller places, you it's way more interactive. So like at Universal, it's like bah, and then that's it. But these places, especially if you're freaked out about that kind of thing, they'll chase you, they'll talk to you, they'll get in your face. It's pretty creepy at times, and they did a pretty good job for what their resources being a tiny park. I don't even know if it'd be considered a park. It's just like a facility. I don't even know what it would be considered, but they did a really good job. So if you guys want to check out their Halloween stuff, I just did that October 1st or October 14th, which is my first event or anything, first time leaving the house since our newborn. So that was very memorable for me to be like, all right, I'm leaving the house for the first time. I'll be back. Daddy's got to go to work at a haunted house, which is the craziest. I'm so grateful for everything. I really am. That was October 14th. Thank you, Adventure Landing, for having the channel out. Then SeaWorld Orlando announced their penguin trek. There's some of the track right there. They have a cool little meet and greet with a penguin, and they invited the channel out for Media Day. So again, super grateful. It's got 2 launches, 42-inch height requirement, 65-foot max height, and a track length of 3,020 feet. So this one, again, is going to be more of a kid's coaster, but still looks like it's going to be super fun for even adults. It's just not going to be as thrilling, but it's going to be so smooth, and it's going to have launches. I'm ready for the Penguin Trek. So again, incredibly thankful for that media invite. And then on November 4th, I finally got to check out Journey of Water, which took years to build, even though it's just like a walkthrough thing. So it is what it is, and I probably will never do it again. It's just like a wee. All right, what else is there to do? I don't know. Some people like it. Maybe it's cooler at night. I haven't seen it at night yet, but it was lack of a better term, crazy lame. So I don't know, whatever. It's just, I mean, I guess it's nice to have an extra thing to do at Epcot, maybe, whatever. And then I walked right over and did Soarin' over California for the first time. It's always been soaring around the world at Epcot, and Soarin' over California was obviously on the California side, Disneyland. So this was my first time. It's basically the only thing different is the video is uh, uh, California based, and so it's kind of like all these landscapes and stuff over California. So it was cool to see that version of it. I wasn't sure if I was like ever gonna see the California version, so it was cool to experience. So I got to see Journey of Water and Soarin' over California on November 4th. It was the same day. So I posted videos of those. So if you guys want to check those out, you can go. Then, once again, a crazy honor to be a part of the media day for SeaWorld Christmas celebration. It was my first time ever doing anything Christmas at SeaWorld. So that was really fun. And it was a cool experience to kind of see the park lit up with Christmas lights and all that stuff. So thanks, huge fist bump to SeaWorld for having the channel out. Again, I believe that was I think the third or fourth. Let's see, one, two. It was the third invite from SeaWorld this year. Crazy honored to be a part of that media list that they invite the channel out. Again, all these crazy, huge, popular, great people out there. And I'm just over there like, who am I? This is awesome. It's very, very grateful for that. All right. And my favorite season, November 18th is the Christmas at Universal. This is another one of those things that doesn't really change a whole lot throughout the years, like the floats change and stuff like that. But it's always such a great time to go to holidays at Universal. They got the tribute store. They always have different stuff here and there. The Grinch show has been pretty much been the same since like I don't even know years and years and years. But I love it. I love it. It's my favorite show. I haven't gone through a Christmas without going to Universal in probably over a decade. So it's really cool to check out Universal during holidays. That I went to on opening night of November 18th. So I enjoyed that as I always do, and I'm sure you guys do when you go or you watch the videos. It's a really fun time. All right, another huge part of the channel for this year was Haunted Mansion. They added the Hatbox Ghost. Not that big of a deal, right? It's just a little addition. But this video for the channel was our very first ever paid sponsor. Huge deal for me. It wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of a sponsorship. Hopefully we can work together again in the future, but it was just like a small little thing. But for the channel was awesome. It was massive. So I truly appreciate IP Vanish for giving me the opportunity to try out their platform and do a little bit of a video on it to showcase a cool little VPN for you guys to stay safe while you're traveling and stuff to these theme parks and everything. So crazy, crazy year to have my first sponsor. It meant so much. And also, Haunted Mansion is always great. It's always a great ride. Having the Hatbox Ghost, people are kind of upset with the placement because, like, at this point, you're not supposed to see any of the ghosts until after like the ritual or whatever. I don't, yeah, people get so up in arms about things, and I'm just like, dude, it's just like a ride. I love the ride, but people get too into it. I don't know. People like to be upset about stuff, I think, and I'm just like, cool. All right, so the next was a media invite to Wild Adventures Christmas Wild and Bright. This was the craziest difference between Christmas events out of any park I've ever seen. They went from like 0 to 100. I enjoyed Christmas at Wild Adventures before, but the difference between years past to this year, they went all out. So great. I love Wild Adventures, and I love it when they invite me to come out and check out their event and showcase like for you guys what all it entails. Such a great event. If you haven't gone to Wild Adventures Christmas, I highly suggest it. Uh, I don't know. I think it only runs for another week or so this year, but next year, make a point to go out and check it out. Wild Adventures Christmas is an awesome. I mean, it's like up there with Universal to me, as far as just enjoyment. So many things to do, so many things to check out. It is way more chill than Universal. You're not right. Like the longest line you're gonna wait for in a ride is like 5 minutes. You're not going to get that at any of the Florida parks, unfortunately. But Wild Adventures, they just keep getting better and better, and they're owned by Hershey Park, and they're kind of like just doing so well that Hershey keeps giving them more and more funding to do cool stuff like that. And man, they're just killing it. And they have like this huge addition that they're building to the parks for like campground and all that stuff. Can't say enough about Wild Adventures. They're always so nice to me in the channel. Always so grateful for them having the channel out. Again, here's the tasting card. It's kind of the same thing where like you have these colored options of things you can try out. You can just eat and eat and eat and eat all the Christmas stuff. So good. All the everything you could ever want. All right, another part of my year was uh, doing a Christmas concert. There's a there's a church in Gainesville that I'm connected with, and they started doing an annual Christmas concert starting last year. I helped play the guitar for them last year, and then helped again this year. It was a huge part of the last month and a half of me preparing and practicing. I don't know if you guys even know that I play the guitar. I love it. I love playing the guitar, and I'll let you guys. I don't know what kind of quality you'll get with this video, but hopefully you can hear some of it. So there's a little break right here, like a saxophone solo, and then it comes back to the guitar right here. Boom. So that's the video. That's that was it. That was the most recent big thing that happened in my life. If you guys are into Christian music, I just posted the link in the chat and also in the description. I do guitar covers of tons of songs, so you guys can check that out if you choose. The Open Door Apostolic Church, that is my family's church from when I lived down south. So thanks for popping in. All right, that's pretty much it. That's the year in review. Tons of stuff. So grateful again for all the blessings that God has given me and my channel, and for all of you for always watching, liking, sharing, commenting, checking the stuff out, chatting with me in the chat box all the time, and following us on social media. Seriously, I could go on and on and on all day long for how grateful I am for each and every one of you. I really do appreciate you guys always watching. Always feel maybe there. Sorry. Hopefully you could have heard me. But hopefully you guys can. I mean, it's an open invitation for you guys to always comment. Let me know what you want to see in the future of the channel. 2024 is going to be a big year for the channel, so I'm super excited. Now that I have a daughter, you guys might see her and me in the parks around. Who knows? I'm really grateful for you guys. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas and you have a wonderful new year. You guys have a good one. Thanks for popping in.